I got in, that was 4 years ago, was that roughly it was about 40% of the people that were surviving it at that point. And you know, each hour, not each day or sometimes each minute, the doctors would come and look and see where each chemical of your body, what numbers, you know, then not knowing whether you might make it to the next hour. You know, and that's how you went about this thing, right? So I think what happens, not only what happened to me, but what happens with almost most people that go through what I, when I heard that I was going to pass away, and that was in '92, like they gave me the news at that point that I only had a couple of years left to live, you try and find a way to accept all this, you know, and whatever means, like with my means, I found a lot of courage and acceptance through spiritual means. And there actually was a poem called Footprints.
Yes, I saw it up on your wall there.
And I treasure that poem because it had a profound effect on me when I first read it. And this was during the time when I received that news. And it's funny how you think that it's only words, but you could, with the right circumstance or the right time, you read a certain word, and it can have such a profound impact. And I think sometimes that's how some people are so gifted, or so that they're able to put something in words that will affect people. Because I know I'm not the only one where this poem has had an effect on. So through that poem, which is just the most incredible feeling that you can have. And this is the spirit that has stayed with me ever since. I've been feeling very safe. So when I was waking up from that operation and knowing that, you know, the next hour I might pass away, it sort of, I kept feeling that safe feeling still, you know.
How long did it come to, how long did it take you to arrive at that point?
It took a while because at first when I received the news, it didn't really hit me as real. When the doctor was in the office and said, look, you got 2 years left to live, it was such an unreal, it almost felt like I was in a soap opera, and I was just waiting for that soap opera music to come on, you know. There's almost, you know, it can't be happening to me, you know, like that, because you see these things, and sometimes you might have had a friend go through it, and you can only imagine what, you know, when it actually happens to you, it doesn't feel real at that point. And I think the first things that I started feeling was a real anger, you know, like just, you know, why me, and all that kind of stuff. And then I started blaming God, you know, for letting this happen. You know, I went through those phases, and then I think that after, you know, praying and after reading that poem, Footprints, like that's really what brought me into the focus of accepting this. I made my decision at that point not to tell my family about this, and I wanted to spare them the toll, because I know the effect it would have on them at, you know, at work, at the family, especially my mom. Like this would have, you know. So throughout the next couple of years, I had to make every excuse in the world to hide the illness. And for example, I was into my second year of electronics. I was taking a technology electronic course, and I had to drop out because I was losing my memory because of the illness. So I had to make excuses, you know, why I dropped out at that time, and I was just hiding it from them. And I told my friends And every friend that I told, I made them swear that they weren't gonna tell my family, and hospital. And then Sammy found out about it, and
It's pretty good at finding out things. Right?
yeah, yes. So a week after I got the call, I was in my Guelph residence, that there was an organ available. And the first thing I did, Enzo, was I had to have them convince me that it was me, that that the organ was available for, and I wasn't.
I couldn't believe it.
No, I couldn't believe it. And the other thing, I almost felt guilty that I was probably taking a child's spot, or a female. Somehow the Titanic kicked in for, I'm thinking, what would I do if I was on the Titanic? And would I let women and children go first? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. But so they convinced me without a doubt that I was the one, and that they couldn't match anybody else at that time. And so my mom found out in the middle of the night when I was going through my operation.
Who told her?
I'm not sure. I never did ask. I'm not sure. But when she got there, the vision that I had, because I knew I was going for the operation, and I was thinking about my mom as I was going to Toronto General Hospital, and I was thinking that my mom had I might not survive this, and I was just thinking about my mom, how she was going to react to this. And I thought that this was going to kill her, like this was, So what I found out, after I recovered from the operation and I started, and most of my friends, I had, the whole hospital floor was filled with my friends the night of the operation. And my mom came there, and my mom reacted different than she was so strong. She said, my son's going to make it. Everybody else that was worried, she made them feel that everything was going to be okay. Like, she took charge that way. And I found out about that from my friends. They were all telling me how my mom, what she did when she came to the hospital. And this was this was a whole miracle for me too. That she handled it that way. It was so. I thought she was going to fall apart, and I was just so happy that.
What was going on in your life? You mentioned that you lived in Guelph.
Yeah, and at that point, things were. I was at the peak of my life. Things were going really good. I finished coming out of a marriage that didn't work out, and I sort of got revitalized in my life to live life as preciously as possible, and sort of going to Guelph gave me that kind of new outlook.
Yes.
Joe, don't hide from me.